much time do you have in Chile? Do you know Italy? Ah, I went to Australia once. Wrong! These are all common mistakes from Spanish to English because they are direct translations. But there is a more natural and correct way to say these things. In all of my previous examples, it is necessary to use the present perfect tense. So, today I'm going to give you some tips on how to perfect using the present perfect. Tip number 1, understanding the different uses of the present perfect. If you are a very structured person, the present perfect can be a little difficult to use from Spanish because it is used to talk about the present, the past, and somewhere in between. So I'm going to give you a little summary based on a timeline. Use number 1 is a combination between the present and the past tense because it is an event that started in the past and continues to the present. For example, I have lost my keys. I can't find them anywhere. Okay, I have lost my keys. Maybe I lost my keys 5 minutes ago, 10 hours ago, 3 weeks ago. And today, in the present, this moment, I still can't find my keys. So it started in the past and continues to the present. So use number 2 is a little bit more difficult because it's not so clear if this event happened in the present or the past. They are very well connected. Firstly, we can use this for a recently finished event. For example, I have just arrived at the office, meaning I recently arrived at the office. Or we can use it for an event that is in the past, but it has consequences in the present. For example, my husband has bought a new car. Maybe he bought a car 5 weeks ago, but it is still relevant today. It has a consequence in the present. Use number 3. We use the present perfect to talk about the past. Ooh, this one can be confusing because students ask, what is the difference between past simple and present perfect then? Well, you need to take a look at Jessie's video about the differences. But I'm telling you that we use the present perfect when we are talking about a non-specific event in the past. I like to tell my students that we use the present perfect instead of the past simple to be more mysterious. So we never use words with the present perfect. For example, last week, ago, 5 years ago. We would say, for example, I have been to Italy before. We don't know, did this happen 5 years ago? Did this happen 2 days ago? But we know that sometime in your life, you went to Italy. Tip number 2, using contractions. Sometimes it might be confusing to understand native speakers when they are using the present perfect tense because we almost always use the contracted version. I have, I've, you've, we've, they've, he, she, it, plus has, she's, he's, it's. For example, he's gone to visit his grandmother. But be careful, don't get confused between the contraction of she is, she's, and she has, she's. They are the same, But the way you can recognize that the present perfect is being used is because after she's, there is always a past participle. She's had a bad day, for example. Tip 3, life experience. If you are asking a question related to experiences in life, you need to use the present perfect tense, please. Let's look at some examples. Have you traveled abroad? Has she seen the new Doctor Strange movie? What countries have you visited? I have been to Italy 5 times. In these examples, we are using the present perfect tense because even though we are talking about the past, we are not specifying when these events happened. So, when answering a question in the present perfect, you have 2 options. You can answer in the past simple, more specific, or you can answer in the present perfect, more mysterious. Have you traveled outside of Chile before? Present perfect. Yes, I've been to Israel 5 times. Or, yes, I've been to Israel. Past simple. Yes, I went to Israel in 2010. Even though we are saying 5 times with the present perfect, it's not really specific, right? It could be any time in my life. 5 times, any time in my life. Tip number 4, asking and answering cuánto tiempo questions in the present tense. It is super common to hear how long being used with the present perfect tense. In fact, when we are speaking in the present, we can only use the present perfect tense to ask how long questions. The confusing part is that in Spanish, these questions are asked using the present simple. But we have to use the present perfect, okay? For example, and this is a question I get at least once a week in Chile as a foreigner. ¿Cuánto tiempo llevas en Chile? How long have you been in Chile? Or with another example, how long have you worked for Dynamic English? When answering these questions, it is necessary to use the present perfect, of course, but you again have 2 options for your answer. Since or for? How long have you been in Chile? I've been in Chile for 1.5 years. Or, I've been in Chile since December 2020. So, for we use with quantities of time. For example, 5 years, 5 months, 5 days, 5 hours. On the other hand, since is used with a specific date or a specific moment. A good tip is to always use since with the present perfect. Always, always, always. And be careful, we cannot respond to this question with ago, 5 years ago, 2 days ago, because that belongs in the past with the past simple. Tip 5, short answers in the present perfect. When answering questions in the present perfect, for example, have you been to England before? It is not necessary to reply with, yes, I have been to England before. No. It is more natural to reply with a short answer. You can say, yes, I have, or I haven't, but I really want to go to England. So, I have, I haven't. She has, she hasn't. Tip number 6, practicing using the present perfect. I know that the present perfect can be intimidating, and learning all the rules is not enough. So, my biggest advice to you is practice, practice, practice. But how? Okay, I recommend watching English series and movies with English subtitles so that you can see how the present perfect is being used by native English speakers. You will also notice how common it is in English. You could also search on Google common present perfect English questions, and you could practice writing the answers or even writing in paragraphs. Obviously, practicing the present perfect in conversation is the ideal, but many people don't have this opportunity. So, we at Dynamic English can help you with that. You can practice one-on-one with our native English teachers who can help you to feel comfortable using the present perfect tense more correctly and in a more natural way. So, reach out to us on our website to find out more about our courses. But of course, if that is not something that you can do, you could always practice using the present perfect by speaking to yourself, maybe in the shower, or with your dog or cat. Okay, we have finished. I hope this video has helped you. I'm using the present perfect. If you like this video, please like it, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to also watch our last video. Bye-bye, guys.